Number 13 Kentucky men's basketball has lost to number 16 UCLA. What in the world happened? The final score was the following. Try to look. 63 to 53. Kentucky just didn't get to their pace of the game, like get transition buckets, which a ton of those, which does hurt. Granted, UCLA outscoring in both halves, 35-27 in the first, 28-26 in the second, but there's more than that just in the scoring department. So, Kentucky shot 32.8% from the field, 21 for 64 to be exact, 6 for 21 on threes, 5 for 13 on free throws. You got to work on your free throws. That's not the sole reason why they lost. They had 43 rebounds, 21 of them offensive. That's a lot of rebounds to give up if you're UCLA and you're fortunate to win this game. 14 assists, 8 steals, 4 blocks, 18 turnovers. That's too many of them. 17 fouls and 16 points off the bench. UCLA only had 11 points off the bench, so UCLA starters did more than Kentucky starters. So, yeah, especially with 3 players, 15 points, and 19 points. I mean, and Kentucky only had 2 players in double figures, and that combined for 25 points. So, yeah. UCLA shot the ball 45.8%, 27 for 59 to be exact, 2 for 8 on threes. They were not hitting the threes. 7 for 15 on free throws. You're leaving a lot of points at the line, UCLA. You got to work on that too. 42 rebounds. They got rebounded by 1. And 12 offensive rebounds. 11 assists, which is not as many as Kentucky. 11 steals, which is more than Kentucky. 4 blocks, which is same as Kentucky. 13 turnovers, which is less than Kentucky in a good way, and 17 fouls. They're both even. So it does make sense why they lost this game, Kentucky did. What both these teams have going forward in the next 5 games or so. 4 or 5 games. Kentucky has Florida A&L. They have to play a 10-1 Missouri on the road, a 2-9 Louisville. You better not lose to Florida A&M, and same thing goes for Louisville. Missouri on the road. That's going to be tricky, though the record could be deceiving. A 9-1 LSU team you're hosting, then early number 4 Alabama, which I expect them to drop after they lost today to Gonzaga. That's just naming 5 games right there for them. In terms of UCLA, they got UC Davis, that is 7-4, so it's not a gimme game. Washington State, that's currently 4-5. You should win the next 2 games in theory. Though Washington State's on the road. And on the road against Washington, that's 8-3. You host a 8-3 USC team, and you play a 9-3 Utah at home. So we have to wait and see what happens for both teams. And this is probably the last one on the upset stuff until tomorrow, in case I missed any overnight. Because some of these games are, for men and women, are going to be really, really late. Like one of them starts at 9:30, and there's no way I'm going to stay out there for that. As well as the one on the women's side for LSU is a potential, but I'm not going to count on it. Against Montana State, that starts at 10 o'clock Central Time here. I'm going to just recap that tomorrow if there is any upsets. Anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribing. I'll see you guys later. Let's get on the road to 500 subscribers now. Let's get there. Let's go.